What's up, all you awesome people?
Wake up, wake up!
That's right.
It's time for another beautiful day here with the Awaken Entertainment crew. My name's Christy Holland. These are the boys. Today we're talking about how the Bible is written every day. And some people might not really understand that concept, so we're going to get into it a little bit and kind of explain to you our personal thoughts about that. Because what we found in talking to people and being out on the street and the people that we've come across is so many people are so limited as to, if my information doesn't come out of this specific book, it can't be true. There's no truth to it. I won't even listen to it. And that's really a very narrow-minded way to go about life in general. And in most of the religious books that I've read, they tell you to search for truth. They tell you to test spirits. They tell you to go out there and to listen, but to not actually accept everything. So we just want to get into a little bit on our personal thoughts on each one of these things. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the guys here and let you hear what they've got to say.
For me, I know personally, just like Christy was saying, I feel a lot of people believe that if you didn't die thousands of years ago, you have no information. You have no way of being truthful. Who are you to say that you have any truth if you didn't, live back in the days, when the Bible was created? And for me, that causes a lot of separation between people, because those who have these new ideas and have these innovative thoughts, they're almost kind of shunned because of that exact notion that, oh, well, who are you to have any truth? It's 2013. You had to die back then to know anything. And it's horrible, to be honest, because just like we said, the Bible was written every day. And what we mean by that, there's tons of books right now being written right now. People coming out with books every day that have vital truths in them. But it's the inability to see those truths that cause a lot of people to be stuck in these rigid belief systems of, if this didn't come from the Bible, I can't believe it. And if they're, and a lot of people, they believe if you, when it comes to the Bible, you have to believe the whole thing. I've had people tell me, you have to believe the whole Bible or you can't believe any of it.
Yes.
If you don't believe everything in there, you can't believe any of it. And that's crazy to me. To me, the Bible is filled with many truths, many beautiful lessons, but it's not meant to be taken so literally and so, truthfully as we all take it. There's definitely things in there that I don't agree with, and I'm not going to agree with them just because it's the Bible, and that's where we are. A lot of people in our society are like, well, it's in the Bible, so you have to listen to it. And to me, that's just not right. So that's my take on it.
Well, I look at it as my little example for this is the inspired part. I speak to a whole bunch of religious people. I was raised in the Baptist church and so on, and I deal with my mom who's really religious. But the whole thing is, they tell you, when you question them, be like, okay, well, God didn't write the Bible. That's what I always like to say to them, that gets them all riled up. And then they're like, no, but it was inspired by God, and it was written by people who he gave inspiration. And I'm like, okay, and that's me, him, her, and him, right? No. Like, hold on. God didn't inspire me to do a whole bunch of things in my life that went perfect for me. So you mean my inspiration and whatever I lay down on a piece of paper isn't correct as well? And then that's when they're kind of up in a little uproar because they don't know what to say about that. And that's what we're trying to get to, guys. I read many people, Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle. There's just many of them. I mean, there could be Florence Shin. Oh, I love her. There's a whole bunch of good people out there who were inspired to write what they wrote. And truthfully, once you have listened or either read their books, you can tell it wasn't truly them that came up with that, because I can't say it's complete, because you can't believe everything they say either, but it has such a oneness to it that they couldn't have wrote that by themselves. It had to be inspired. I mean, I have music artists who I know they didn't write that song. They were the vessel for that song, and I've heard music artists say that they were the vessel for that song. I woke up and it just came out. I mean, that means it was inspired by God. If you say that it isn't, then maybe you need to open yourself up a little wider out in this world so you can get the love that we're getting.
I want to say the Bible was not written in 2 weeks, and it was written over thousands of years, and each book in the Bible is an independent book. The Bible is just a compilation of books. And I don't think a lot of people really think about that, but and even the Bible got revised by God when somebody said, well, maybe we need to like alter these ideas for a better idea of perfection. And the writing part, that's what they had at the time to get the idea across. Now, why would, the information flow stop? You'd think it would get better, and it does, because now it's like you have all these other media and art sources and other ways to get an idea of influence or inspiration across to people. So keep your eyes open for the truth, and don't limit yourself to it just coming from one avenue. It's all over the place. It's all around you. You just have to look for it and see it and take it in and share that with everybody, because it's everywhere. The truth is everywhere. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes up that's not true. You're just going to have to learn to filter that out a little better. And I'm going to go with that for now.
Good. I like that.
I think this is what people need to keep in mind. If there was only one truth, nothing but one single truth, there would not be a million different religions based off the Bible, based off the Quran, based off of all the other truth books that are out there. Like, if there was just one unlimited truth and that was that, then everybody would follow the same thing and everybody would be able to understand everybody else's beliefs and system. But that's not what God's about. He is unlimited. He is across the board and so individual in so many different ways that we try to box ourselves into, okay, well, you have this belief system and you're over here with these people and you have this belief system, so you're over here in the... No, that's not what he's about. How you speak to God, how I speak to God, and how these guys speak to God are completely different things. So what might be truth for somebody is not necessarily truth for somebody else. And we need to keep that in mind. And again, this is a personal journey. This isn't something that a lot of people might understand. But when you're getting hit with things like that, somebody needs to hear it. And we just need to keep in mind that, it's an amazing book. There are a lot of good books with a lot of good truths out there. But going into the future, it can't be limited to just this. Like, we need to be able to expand ourselves to understand more than what we're currently living in. And every person that I've talked to that is strictly Bible or strictly Quran or strictly this, they've begun to limit themselves in love. And that's the scariest part, is like, again, you don't fall into this category and I can't love you. You're going to hell. You're not worth the time and effort it takes. And if you believe like we do, God is love, and he comes in a lot of different forms, and he comes with a lot of different messages, and we've got to be open to hearing them. And again, it might not always be correct, but that is what your own personal intuition and own personal journey is about, is really saying, I will accept this, I'm not going to accept this. And yeah.
And another thing too, everybody that wrote the Bible and was a part of that was in a very centralized location. There was a whole other world going on while all this was going on, and I'm not saying that that's right and the rest of the world was wrong or the rest of the world was ignorant, but the rest of the world was discovering truth through their own way with their own people. It's just not in that book. There's other books that came before that, others that came after and keep coming after to this day, and keep that in mind. Like I said, it's everywhere. It's not like if you weren't in the Arab states during this time, well, just like you were saying, it's like, it doesn't mean that everything else is wrong. It's just,
That's right.
you gotta look for the similarities between all of the stuff. Then when you see a repeating pattern of ideas and the truth, you'll know what the truth is. So it's just not gonna be written one particular way from one particular bunch of people. But when you start exploring everything, you'll see what coincides. And like I said today, you got music and art and everything, just bringing it out there, technology, a lot of books online, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Think about this, guys. They say that you have to follow Jesus to get to heaven. You gotta sort of walk like Jesus. Think about Aborigines. Think about the American Indians. Think about people who didn't have a Bible. What? They don't go to heaven? I mean, honestly, you think that these people don't go to heaven? These people know the earth and they know themselves so much better because they're not distracted by the bull crap that's been put out there so many times. They have to be going somewhere, guys. I mean, these people love each other. They have a big communal bond amongst everybody. Everybody plays fair. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff amongst these native people, man. And you can't tell me that those people aren't more down with God and our earth than we are trying to be Christians reading a book about the Bible. So you don't have to follow Jesus. Jesus is sort of a consciousness. A beautiful way to present yourself as love, and truthfully, that's all it really is. So if these Abernathy's are love, they're going to heaven, guys, or they're living in heaven, because I really don't believe heaven is a serious place like that. It's more of a thought, a place that you are spiritually. You know what I mean? So there's no way that any of that could be true if this stuff over here isn't true. So there's so much contradiction there, guys. You have to just pay attention and see if you're being bamboozled or not. And I think this one is a bamboozle.
Yeah, definitely. And just to sum it up for me, by no means are we saying that the Bible is somehow wrong or in any ways, obsolete. What we're saying is the thought that it's the only source of truth is very obsolete. To narrow yourself to say, well, this Bible holds all truth, and if it's not in the Bible, I can't believe it. To me, just like we said, you're limiting yourself tremendously, because I've read more books in the past 2 years of my life that have provided me with what I perceive to be truth than anything I've read in the Bible. And that's just my personal experience. I'm not going to sit there and try to decipher the Bible and read between the lines and wonder, what is going on, because there's a lot of confusion in the Bible. If we really want to take it literally, there's things in the Bible that are crazy. There's things that say, you can beat this person, and if they die immediately, you're going to hell, but if they stay alive for a day, that you're not going to hell. Like, there's crazy stuff in the Bible. Let's be real. There's stuff in there that's just like, wow. But anyway, I just believe that, just like we said before, it's up to you to find kind of what's your truth, what resonates with you, what makes sense to you. But what we're saying is, if you're one of those people who is very, religious based, and you do live from the Bible, don't condemn others because they don't listen to the Bible. Because that's not what God's about in the first place. It's not about condemning others because they don't believe what you believe, or telling them you're going to hell because you haven't been in church in 5 years. That's all what we're trying to move away from. That's the failed system. That's the system that has failed us repeatedly, and that's why we do these videos, to change that system. So just remember, guys, there's truth everywhere. Just search for it and be open to it.
That's right.
Final thoughts.
My final thoughts are, again, don't limit yourself. Like, even with the Bible, there is the book of Jasher, there's the book of Jubilee, there are like the book of Enoch. There are a lot of other things that have been written that churches and religion have come down the line and decided that this is not going to be acceptable for the people, the common people, to hear. So we're going to kind of hold that back. And again, going as life should be an exploration of love, and life should be an exploration of truth, you should be open and willing to check out all the outside sources and really research and determine, again, if that is your truth. That's my final thoughts. Just don't let anybody else decide for you what you should believe. Find out yourself, research, look at all the available options, because there's a million of them out there. And if you don't, you're the only one that's hurting yourself, nobody else.
I got one more last kicker for you guys. And if what we were saying that wasn't true about this Bible thing was true, then why do they have a lock and key on the Vatican? That's all I want to know. Because the Vatican's library is full of so many truths that they do not want us to know about. That's why it's locked down. If they open that up, then we'll find out a whole different truth. So I want you guys to know that. All right, it's Awaken Entertainment. Subscribe. We love you all.
Have a great day,
Guys,
guys.
have a great day.